What's up, everybody? It's Greg Redden. It's Wednesday, October 5th, 2016, 12:41 p.m. And I'm here in Council Bluffs. I would tell you the streets, but they don't have road signs for this one. Well, let's just take a look where we're at. Anyway, what we have here in the background is a situation where these gentlemen, no fault of their own, being paid to do what they're doing. It'd be the contractor who has responsibility. Anyway, he would have made the call to inform these gentlemen to use the payloader attachment right, hold on, over, yeah, I can't see what this is. You're gonna have to give me a sec. Well, anyway, it's right over there. Hell, we can get a better look at it. Well, you get a stoplight anyway, don't mind me. Might as well run me over and get the stoplight quicker. Right there we have an attachment. That thing there goes on the payloader, and that's what originally tore up these roads this morning when I got here, that they're now fixing with blacktop. And all these cones and fucking road equipment and shit. Now, this is a common practice utilized by the government and, you know, to control public movement, traffic. I was sitting on a roadway this morning with a train stopped dead on the railroad tracks here in Council Bluffs. Nothing against Council Bluffs. It's actually quite the opposite. I do things like this so to improve the situation. But as you can see, these men have been meticulously filling the holes they created earlier. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to give Pat Miller a call because he's a public works oversight for roads here in Council Bluffs, Iowa. We're just going to see what he's got to say, since his department would be the one making the call to have these nice gentlemen out here getting paid high dollar to do nothing but tear up roads. It's not their fault. They're doing what they get paid to do. So we'll give Pat a call here, see if we get a response. I'm going to put it on speaker. Here's his number if you can't. Yeah. Hi, ma'am. Yes. Do you have any? Do you know of any road construction going on in Council Bluffs? Right outside of like the Applebee's and the Perkins Motel 6. I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, it's on Expressway, and let me see the cross street. I'm right here by the McDonald's. Anyway, these gentlemen out here, no fault of their own, I've watched them this morning. They used an attachment on the payloader to dig up the road, which I'm taping right now. And they're currently filling in the roads they broke up this morning with blacktop. Do you know why? Is Pat Miller in by chance? I was wanting to talk to somebody about this because this certainly doesn't seem right. It wouldn't be the gentleman's fault doing the project. It would be the gentleman that made the call to do that. And by my account, I got online and I looked up Council Bluffs Road Public Works Oversight. And they had Pat Miller's name. Is Pat Miller there? Could somebody
Let me put you on hold for just a second. I'll check it.
All right, thank you, dear. And you can see, hello? You can see all around me too, these large semi-trailer trucks. Now, some of them are actually hauling stuff. I understand that, but they're used in these government trucks, like these big stupid orange trucks. They're used in mass quantity to, you know, whatever means the government wants. A lot of cases, they're used to cover. I mean, you can see how big they are. Thank you, ma'am. She's giving me a pat. Hey, Pat. My name is Greg Redden. I'm down here off of Expressway in Council Bluffs. I can't see the cross sign clearly, but it's right outside the shopping center with the McDonald's, the Applebee's, the Jimmy John's. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yep. Okay, well, I've been watching this morning outside of McDonald's, and I've been video documenting it. These good construction gentlemen had an attachment on their payloader, which initially they dug up the road with. I watched it, and then now they're currently in the process of blacktopping what they dug up, and it's created a lot of havoc in traffic. There's a lot of cones out here, a lot of big trucks. Is it your office's common practice to tear up roads only to blacktop them? It would seem to me maybe that's a project in government, like you know, controlled movement. I mean, a way to control the movement of traffic. Can you explain this?
Yeah, I've been working on the approaches to the railroad crossings have deteriorated. Since they're already put in asphalt, the asphalt has to be ground out or removed, and then new asphalt put in its place. And I go to a permanent repair in that area because the railroad tracks are scheduled to be removed.
Okay, when are they scheduled to be removed?
I believe they're scheduled for the spring of next year.
Is the spring of next year? So the roads out here will be torn up again?
Hope not.
Right. I see a lot of this, Pat. That's a good answer. I appreciate.
Yeah, you know, if you just throw a patch over the top of the already decayed material.
Well, I watched it sure as shit out here real time. Excuse the language. The roads looked all right to me, and they were using this attachment that just dug down the road. And then they're going over it with blacktop. I can't understand how blacktop would be more, you know, sturdy for a roadway than blacktop after they dug it down to begin with. Yeah, I understand that, Pat. Good distract. Yeah, I understand that. What they did is they tore up the roadway with this attachment, if you're not understanding me. And you're saying the blacktop is going to be a better improvement than the original roadway, which wasn't deteriorated from my estimation at all. And actually, I've been sitting out here video documenting and watching these guys. It's not their fault. Believe me, I've worked in concrete construction, not at the city level, but they're just being doing what they're being paid and told to do. I would find fault at the level that you're at, or the people making the calls to you, Pat.
What are you claiming the fault again? I'm not understanding what you're...
Well, okay.
Because they're using asphalt?
No.
Asphalt is a very common patching material to be used on streets.
No, I understand that, Pat. Well, see, if you could see the video that I've been creating, or certainly you can look it up on YouTube when I'm done, but they had an attachment out here, and it just ground up the road. It's almost like a, road grinder, for lack of a better word.
It's supposed to grind down to a certain depth, so you can put the asphalt down at the same level of the road.
Yeah, I understand that, Pat.
Diamond grinder.
I understand that, but the road was perfectly okay by all vantage point of mine before.
It was that we had lots of complaints on that road. She's the one who repaired it.
I understand. I couldn't see how it's going to be any better, being it was paved okay to begin with, and now they've ground it down and added blacktop. Wouldn't that be a less?
It wasn't okay. It was deteriorated. We had lots of complaints on it. It was causing issues with cars and being and bottoming out on it, so we had to repair it.
Okay, well, it's causing issues now because people aren't able to, you know, and this isn't just a condition here. I've seen this real time in different cities across the country, Pat. I understand your stance and what you have to say for public relations, but
No, I'm not saying anything for public relations. I'm trying to answer all your questions for you. Each time I answer your question, you change it. I'm trying to answer your questions for you.
what question did I change, Pat?
You said you couldn't understand why they were tearing up a perfectly good road and putting asphalt down in it, and then you didn't feel that was the way it should be done.
No, Pat, I told you they ground down the perfectly paved road, and now they're going over it with blacktop. So my question is, how can blacktop be a more sturdy foundation than the original roadway they ground up? That doesn't make...
It's being used as a patch to patch that roadway.
Well,
patch.
It's not a patch if they're grounding down large strips of the street here, Pat.
The street is about 8 to 10 inches thick. They're not going grinding down that far.
Oh, well, I would disagree with you. No, I understand how deep it is, Pat. I'm talking about the length. You said it would... Well, you've got to excuse me, Pat. I'm not versed in your lingo. As you understand, perhaps if you were to become something like say a pro wrestler, I would call you a mark. You wouldn't understand what that was, but just like I wouldn't understand all your fancy terms for...
What fancy term did I use? You didn't understand, but...
Well, Pat, I can see this is getting nowhere quick, but certainly you can watch my video, yeah, can I ask you one more question, Pat, while you're there? Who is the oversight for the city's construction? I mean, who regulates that and makes sure they're doing an okay job? Let me guess, the government of some sort on some level. Is that correct?
If it's a city job, that would mean the city government would be overlooking it.
Yeah, I understand that, Pat. Well, so they're the ones that, so there's no oversight other than, like, say me? Like, you know, in, I suppose police, to give you an example, they have internal affairs. Who would be the internal affairs for your road deconstruction out here, Pat?
I don't think there is an internal affairs since it's not a law enforcement agency, but we actually have...
No, I understand, Pat. It was...
Can I answer you?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't let me answer you a lot of times. Since we actually have people out there that are lead supervisors, you're the ones that are overseeing it being done properly.
I understand, and they're employed by the city, correct? Kind of like a public defender is employed...
This is going nowhere.
Okay.
Talking in circles.
All right, thank you, Pat. Hey, one last thing. Greg Redden, that's Redden. But anyway, as I was saying, that was Pat Miller there. As I was saying, a lot of these big semi-trailers and city trucks, all sorts of things, even taxi and different vehicles with dispatch, any vehicle with dispatch, a lot of times in certain quantities are outsourced by the government to control movement or distract things or cover. These big semi-trailers, for instance, with a sequence of them moving down the road, I call it a federal procession, can blind the general public from seeing, say, a mass grave or being constructed or deconstructed, or whole parts of society being shaved or altered, which is quite common. I guess Nelson Mandela probably titled it best, apartheid. I think that in many ways is alive and well in this country. I certainly won't get into all of them now because I want to keep this video somewhat succinct. Thanks.